4 sets of B&B owners from across Britain
Probably shouldn't have done that.
do battle for the title of Best Value B&B.
It's far too cramped and has very little character.
They'll rummage round their rivals' rooms
It's big, I can get in it.
and put their breakfast to the test.
We'll probably all end up with fur balls by the time we get home.
Because when your home is your business,
Not sure I want to touch that.
everything is personal.
I found that insulting and very, very blinkered.
With 4 in a bed, will anyone get a good night's sleep?
No.
The claws are out, aren't they?
First hosts for the competition are Simon White and his moral support for the week, close friend and next-door neighbour, Shirley Boyle.
Right, Shirl, we're nearly there. Here we go, come on.
Simon is the proud owner of the Old Hall country house, found in the picturesque village of Madeley. Apparently nothing to do with Richard Madeley.
It's a Tudor building, it's dripped in history, beautiful gardens, beautiful furnishings.
And they have wonderful company in Simon, really. They couldn't have a better host.
Not that you're biased. Dating back to the 16th century, the Old Hall country house would have any history buff reaching for their almanac.
Charles II actually hid here in the priest home. And also Queen Margaret, she actually stayed here for 1 night or maybe more. We don't actually know, we've only read about it.
So history proves Simon's gaff is fit for a king and a queen. These days it has a 5-star silver award, 3 rooms for up to £130 and the promise of sumptuous Egyptian cotton sheets.
Nice bed linen really is one of your things, isn't it?
We don't do nylon. It's like having stockings on your legs, isn't it?
Yes. And the static. Oh dear, you're crackling all night.
While Simon looks lively, his first guest is purring towards them.
It looks fantastic. I just wish there was a sign of resident animals.
Eileen Finn runs Thornley House B&B in the Northumbrian village of Allendale. She's the one in the glasses, by the way.
Well, Thornley House is for lovers of fine cats and fine gardens. I love animals and, in fact, I prefer them to humans.
Human guests pay up to £60 a night, and for that they get to share Eileen's infatuation with all things 4-legged, because she's got pussies galore.
I have 2 Maine Coons, the largest cat you can have legally. Mr. Slav, like Mr. Slav Rostropovich, the cellist. Behind me is Sergei, as in Sergei Prokofiev.
Here's Tigger. Hello, Tigger.
Tigger, an alley cat, Tatiana, a rescue cat, and Ivana, a rescue cat.
Not forgetting Sid and Gilbert the donkeys. If the animal magic doesn't appeal, guests are at liberty to stroll the rambling gardens or have a moment in the cat cemetery.
If the other 3 couples are animal lovers, I think I've got it made, but if they don't like animals, I think they'll pull me to pieces.
Assuming the cat doesn't first.
Crumbs, 5 stars. Help they'll think my place is like Faulty Towers.
Hello, welcome to the Old Hall. My name's Simon.
I'm Eileen Finn.
And this is Shirley. You're in Charles II room.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you are.
Right. Well, he was 6'2". Oh, I say, what a beautiful room.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's stunning. Yes.
While Eileen makes herself at home, the next guests are already feeling homesick.
I feel very, very far north. Anything past London is very north for me. And I'm missing the coast.
It's hard to find a sea view.
Yeah.
24-year-old Jessica and 44-year-old Adrian Rashley have been married for less than a year.
Adrian's lovely. He's sickeningly so. Everyone that meets him thinks he's wonderful, and I'm his annoying wife.
The newlyweds own Shy Conin, a modern 3-bed establishment in sunny St Ives in Cornwall.
Would enjoy going to other people's B&Bs and seeing how they do it there, and then they can come here and see how it's done.
The B&B offers rooms at up to £80 a night. And whilst Jessica may be 21 years Adrian's junior, when it comes to Shy Conin, or House of the Rabbit, there's no doubt who runs this warren.
You can get on with the ironing if you like.
Right, OK, no problem. She likes to control. She likes things to be how she wants them to be. She doesn't.
I'm always right. What can I say? 100 to 130 per night.
Right.
They are really going to have to be amazing for me to get anywhere near the asking price. For sake.
Hello, welcome to the Old Hall. My name's Simon.
Adrian. This is Jess.
Hi Jess, nice to meet you.
Level stairs.
Do you want to go through?
Thank you.
So this is the garden view room. This is £100 per night.
Okay. I wonder why it's called the garden view.
Whilst Adrian provides the funnies, the final visitors are entering Madeley.
I wonder what the other guests are going to be like.
They could be posh like us, maybe.
Tim Sturgess and wife Karen are the down-to-earth team who run the Cavendish B&B near the Golden Sands of Dorset.
Just love being in Bournemouth, the beach, the seagulls.
Yeah, it's just the interaction with the guests
And we're
every
at
day.
home together, which kind of works.
Yeah, does for you.
The Cavendish has 16 bedrooms priced up to £70 a night. It also boasts a 4-star rating, but for Tim it's more about customer service than class.
We're not boutique. I don't want to be boutique. I don't want to be posh. There's a definite market for this traditional type of B&B with a personal touch.
With an award-winning fry-up on the menu, Tim concentrates on the cooking and leaves the rest of the work to Karen.
Oh, put it in. Karen's a boss. I mean, to be fair, without Karen, there wouldn't be a guest at all, to be honest.
They'd have breakfast only.
Yeah.
You don't even know where the towels are. It's 5-star guest accommodation. So with the Silver Award, so it is going to be something else.
You best get to the cash point. Nice to meet you. I'm Tim.
I'm Simon.
Hello, Simon. Nice to meet you.
I'm Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Hiya.
How are you?
Karen.
Ladies first.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Am I here for a week?
With the guests checked in, it's time for them to check out their rivals' rooms.
100% Egyptian cotton.
Wouldn't want to be ironing them every day.
No.
Charles II would have found this bed a bit small, but it's certainly more than adequate for me.
It's great. It looks nearly too nice to wash in, really, doesn't it? I don't want to spoil it.
Straight away, size of the bathroom. Why is there not a bath? Don't think it's a big thing, but they missed a trick on that one.
It's got some lovely little touches
Yeah,
with the sherry
it's really,
and the
really
wine.
nice with all the beams and dressing gowns, slippers.
Right.
Creaks. You wouldn't want to get up to any funny business.
Yeah, it's a wonderful decanter, this. Oh, and it's got sherry in it.
Now the guests have delved under the duvets at the Old Hall Country House.
Stains.
Tim and Karen are considering the clientele.
I certainly wouldn't put 2 bricklayers in here, that's for sure.
Eileen's got room for company.
My favourite Maine Coon, Mr. Slav, would love it here. He'd approve.
And little Miss Muffet
Get rid of the spider.
might prefer curds and whey.
What are they doing there? Don't need tacky tinfoil chocolates.
Simon and Shirley hope to get the afternoon off to a swinging start with their chosen activity.
Because we both love actually going to shows, so what you're going to be doing is tap dancing.
Brilliant.
Now, are you all happy about this?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Don't know about Tim.
I'm built for tap dancing.
Very excited about the idea of doing tap. We started tap lessons about 4 months ago. We're not great. Only pair of shoes I didn't bring all my
The
tap
only
shoes.
pair of shoes, yeah.
First things first, the group slip on their happy feet.
Oh, I'm out of breath. Put them on.
We're the only two that can't tap.
We can't tap.
That was tapping.
That's not tapping, it's just messing around.
Oh.
As they kick off with some basic steps, Tim gets straight into the rhythm of things.
I wanted somebody who was kind of like big and butch with tattoos who couldn't tap.
When's tea break?
Now let your heels on. And tap, step. Good lad.
As Tim starts to find his tap toes, it's Simon's turn to be strictly bottom of the class.
I don't think Simon was that good at tap dancing. Well, no better than me, really.
You were terrible.
That was terrible. I'm sorry.
Simon.
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
I did try. I've got 2 left feet.
The host may be no Sir Brucey when it comes to dance, but there's one couple who are just dotty about it.
Yeah, you got it, Phil. You got it. I think they chose the activity quite well because it's personal to them.
And after a fair bit of the old step and kick, it seems everyone's been swayed by tap.
I really enjoyed it, actually, in a funny, sick sort of way.
It's day one of the competition to be crowned Best Value B&B. Host Simon White and friend Shirley Boyle are lavishing their guests at a private restaurant in the grounds of the Old Hall Country House in Cheshire.
Here's to the competition.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you.
As Simon's guests relax into an evening quaffing champers, he decides a few hours before bedtime is a good moment to talk about spirits.
One of the guests saw a veiled lady in the Queen Margaret room at the
I
window.
believe strongly in ghosts and so
I'm glad about that. Then. We've had loads of guests actually saying, I'm not going to stay in the Queen Margaret room because it's got a ghost. And I said, oh, but I've just really made it up.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. I'd have slept in the car otherwise.
And Jessica will be pleased to hear that Tim and Karen have also spotted ghouls in the guest rooms at their B&B.
Our breakfast room used to be below ground level.
Yeah.
And we saw these 2 guests. You couldn't tell their face. There was no facial.
That one had looked like a ponytail.
Only just more figures, really, than human beings.
But saying they've seen a ghost is not good news, is it?
No, maybe it doesn't like going up the stairs.
I thought, oh, great, breakfast is off. So here we go, rushing behind them, just to say, what do you want? And there was nobody there. Oh.
That's happened twice.
You're kidding? Really?
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
She did look really scared, and I hope to reassure her
I
that
was just going to tell her I was drunk.
she's safe.
Jessica may be concerned about things that go bump in the night, but at Eileen's there's something else prowling around.
I run a bed and breakfast for lovers of fine cats and fine gardens.
Unfortunately for Eileen, Adrian is allergic to cats.
I love cats. I just...
Yeah. You're not too bad. My mum's got cats, so he's been...
I have 2 very large, hairy Maine Coons.
Oh, my favourites. The concern for me is obviously having a cat in the guest bedrooms is not good for what I'm be looking for. It's not going to help me.
I think even with an allergy, we'd never let our pets anywhere near the guest bedrooms.
No.
My favourite is my golden lion called Mr. Slav, and has a habit of bringing rabbits into the room.
Oh, I'm particularly fond of bunnies.
We have 2, yeah.
I just kept seeing Henry and Hamish eaten to death by cats draped on the floor and me tripping over them in the night, and
Mr. Slav thinks I'm an incompetent cat and has a habit of coming up at 3 o'clock in the morning yowling. And
How big's the cat?
he's pretty big.
Does he bite? They do tend to go for me. I'm petrified of cats and their claws and everything. Oh.
He doesn't not like them, but they tend to home in on him.
I don't mind them.
As they get to him, they go... Psst.
Keen to find out more about his guests, Simon turns his attention to newlyweds Jessica and Adrian.
Can I ask your age?
Guess.
About 30, 32?
Oh, that's all right. I've heard worse.
Come on.
To reveal my real age, darling.
She's 24, just turned 24.
Ah.
We've got a 21-year age gap between the 2 of us.
My eldest daughter's 21.
The bit we struggle with is his middle daughter is called Jessica, and I introduce myself as Jessica. That's suddenly like, no. Not that one.
No.
Good on them.
Yeah. You're older than me, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm not that...
So, after an evening of fine dining and genteel chit-chat, what better way to lower the curtain than with a bit of a sing-song?
Shirley and Simon set the bar really Olympic high.
Yeah.
And it would be a hell of a job getting over it. Especially when you're my size.
you.
All sung out, the B&B owners head across the court to rest up before tomorrow's performance.
Even though my favourite cat, Mr. Slav, isn't here, I'm going to enjoy being in this bed, and I wish I didn't have to go home tomorrow.
Simon seems to be very engaging with everybody, and it's almost like everything in his life is one big show, it's one big act. But
in a nice way,
but there's no
in
acting.
a good way.
It's just that's how he naturally is.
I think they've both been absolutely fantastic. You know, if I was gay, I'd be the sort of bloke I'd go out with.
With Tim and Karen, there actually is what you see is what you get, and it's actually quite funny with those. And the same, you know, with Eileen, is what you see, what you get. You know what I mean? A bit eccentric, but actually fun. The other two, I just don't, you know, he's very, very quiet, and Jessica's the one who's doing all the talking. So I think there may be a little gameplay there, but we'll see.
It's morning in Madeley, and certain guests just can't wait until breakfast.
Oh, happy bananas.
I've tried to find a negative here, but it's impossible. And I'd be being a really nasty, picky person if I made something up.
Getting out of the shower, which I didn't notice till I got out of the shower. I put one towel on me. Adrian's got one towel, but no towel for my hair. Clearly a room designed by a man.
And the man in question is already busy in the kitchen.
So I do care what they think about my breakfast because it reflects me, you know. So I'll be quite upset if they don't enjoy it.
Unfortunately, one guest isn't hungry.
I'm normally starving.
It's because you ate all those bananas in the night.
Oh, that's what it was. They were really good. Have you tried a banana?
No. They're called happy
God,
bananas.
They're called happy bananas.
The thing about the bananas.
Certainly made me happy.
There's something in the bananas.
Helping out front of house, Shirley will be taking the breakfast orders.
Adrian, have you decided what you'd like?
Can I have a full English?
Can I have the muffins from the Eggs Benedict?
Yes.
But with scrambled eggs on top.
Yes,
And
you
obviously
can.
No.
Tim, have you decided?
Do you need to ask me or?
Full English?
Not too full from the bananas, then.
There's a chicken there, Ollie, look. Huh? Chicken.
The eggs may be free range, but Jessica's found cause to complain.
Why do you put green stuff
Don't wait
on
for me.
breakfasts? I want a green breakfast. I don't want green on my breakfast. Green's a dinner vegetable.
And she's not sure about what's under the garnish either.
What's the matter?
They're not as light and fluffy and creamy as I'd expect them to be, as they look.
Well, my fried egg is gorgeous. Shirley,
Yes.
can I have a bit of ketchup, please?
Right, just let me have a
Could
look.
it be in one of them little pots or something?
I better go and ask Simon where he's hidden them.
Sorry, thank you.
Can you apologise for us being so common?
You know, maybe it's not normal to have ketchup with your breakfast when you in this sort of type of luxury establishment. I know it might be just me.
Thank you. I wished I wasn't so common as to ask for it.
All of the quality was excellent. The eggs had probably just been laid. There was an elegant hen just passing in the garden.
You could tell the eggs were really nice. I think it was maybe whatever he put with them, the butter, the cream, the seasoning, wasn't quite right.
Breakfast at our place, I'm slightly biased and say it's probably just slightly better, but he comes a very good second.
Right then, here goes.
Before the guests bid the old hall farewell, they must rate their stay on the anonymous feedback forms.
How was your host at the Old Hall Country House?
10. 10. Absolute 10.
Very welcoming and in very good taste, so I'm giving them 10 out of 10.
Exceptional. Do you have to spell that?
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
How clean was the Old Hall Country House?
It wasn't unclean, but it wasn't perfect.
10.
To be honest, just spotless.
I think one mark for the bedspread and a mark for the spiders.
8, yeah?
Yeah.
How are the facilities at the Old Hall Country House?
We've got no bath, which you'd expect for 5-star and the size of bathroom. We've got no hanging space. We've got no sit-down with mirror, and we've got no mirror with good light for doing makeup.
The only gripe was that the TV didn't quite work.
So 7. I think that's probably fair.
How did you sleep at the old Hall Country House?
It was a bit hot.
Very comfy bed.
I mean, the sheets are such high quality. It's like sleeping in silk.
I think a 9.
Yeah, I'm happy with 9. How was breakfast at the old Hall Country House?
Maybe the sausage too big.
It's about 7. Bit too slow, and I wasn't impressed with the eggs, and considering that was the main bit of my breakfast.
Would I stay here again? I certainly would.
Yes, please.
Next week.
Weekend.
Do you think we should put maybe?
I think you should put maybe.
That's if they'd have us.
You might not want us back.
Time to put their money where their mouth is and pay what they think the room is worth.
Goodbye, money.
Don't be sorry.
I know what I'm going to pay.
Simon, we love you, but a few bits that need tweaking.
The Reddies won't be revealed until the end of the week, but Simon and Shirley must face the feedback now.
How were the facilities? Excellent, except moody TV.
I know who this is. I definitely know who this is.
Stunning.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
How could you not sleep in such a magnificent bed? Sheets were silk.
This is Eileen. It's definitely Eileen.
How clean was the old Hall Country House? A 10, spotless.
I'm more than happy about that. That's absolutely brilliant.
A couple of bananas, look. Bananas.
Would you stay here again? Yes. Next weekend, if you're free.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
I'm
Spotless.
filling up here for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud
Come on.
of him. He's done so well. Mark on bedspread, cobwebs on light.
Thank you. Thank you. It's 500 years old, so you're going to get a cobweb on a light bulb.
Bit drizzly today.
Not unclean at all, but just not perfect.
Right. How perfect do they want it, though?
Would you stay here again? Maybe.
Right. All I can say about that is good riddance.
Next time on 4 in a Bed,
Whoa, look at that. He's not going to bite me, no.
things get hairy at Thornley House.
I found 3 hairs on my bread and 2 hairs in my breakfast.
You haven't evidence of them?
Not anymore, no.
He doesn't mind if there's hairs on it.